Yeah, let's go. We got that feel good music. Shout out to my girl Ava in the building.
Everybody, come on.
Put your hands up. We got the feel good music. That vibe that make you wanna lose it. Everybody stop what you do and drop to the music. Bounce. Woo! Yeah, happy Wednesday, y'all. Y'all know what it is. It's your man Vince Pass in the building, doing what we do. Yeah. Shout out to my man Reed for the building. Yeah. We're gonna have a party tonight. You feel what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about some things tonight. You dig? Get right. Shout out to my girl Colada. Yeah. Yeah. What's going on, everybody? It's your man Vince Pass in the building for the podcast. One voice, one mic, and we are here on a super awesome Wednesday night, hump day night. I didn't put out no videos this week. The reason being was because I see so many other people doing it. I said, you know what? Let me let somebody else get their shine and they light. You feel what I'm saying? It's your man in the building. What we doing, right? So listen, before I go on, man, I want to first give a super duper dope shout out to my man Carleet Jones, his father Carl Jones from Cincinnati, Ohio, one of my guys, referee. You know what I'm saying? Who basically taught me how to referee. One of my mentors in the referee game. You know what I'm saying? His son was drafted by the Dallas Mavericks, and guess what? You know what? Cincinnati is officially on the map. When it comes to another NBA player, he worked hard at it. Like he said, his father said, they said that he wasn't going to make the NBA in high school. They doubted him. He was always short, undersized. He just kept working and working and working. Went to Rayford College. Turned up there. Then next thing you know, he transferred 1 year to Louisville, put up great numbers there as well. Next thing you know, here we at it. Shout out to my man Carleet. Don't forget, man, you owe me a slice of pizza and a soda. Told you when you make it to the league, we need a canned soda, a Coke, and we're going to get a slice of pizza. You feel me? That's what we do. That's how we celebrate. You dig? So shout out to everybody out there tonight. Tonight we're talking about something tonight. We're going to talk about something big. You feel what I'm saying? First, I always got to give shout out. You feel what I'm saying? The people out there, if you're in need for some counseling, you feel like you're going to commit suicide, you think that, life is over with, listen, this COVID situation is not done yet, everybody. So please, 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 if you are dealing with anything of depression, loneliness, things like that, please call the suicide hotline. Number is 1-800-273-8255. I'm always going to give a shameless plug for that. I'm not asking for no money for that, none of that, because I believe that every life matters. You dig what I'm saying? Every life matters. So I'm going to leave that up there for a second. Anybody feel like they want to pass the number along to anyone? Like, love, share this video right now. You did what I'm saying. Not going to be on long tonight. Not going to be on long tonight at all. We're going to get this a hot 20-minute broadcast, and we're going to drop it like it's hot. You feel what I'm saying? If anybody feel like they want to call in right now, there goes the number on the screen. You did what I'm saying? 429-5964. That's the show number. You did what I'm saying? So if you want to call in, shout it out. Hey, listen, I love to hear your opinion about things as well. But more importantly, what I want to do, I want to make sure that you guys are not just enjoying the show, but just being involved. And if you don't want to be involved, or you want to say something in the chat, we got a chat room, just join the chat. You dig what I'm saying? So that's what's up. Let's get at it. So look, tonight, I'm going to talk about 4 things tonight, all right? We're going to talk about this right here. I'm going to put a link up right now. And the violent protest of vaccine people versus unvaccinated people. Now, that's the YouTube link right there. You know what I'm saying? I could not put that up because I have not, I don't know if I'm going to pay for the super ultra professional level of $49 a month. You know what I'm saying? But I'm probably going to do that pretty soon. But anyway, we got violent protests of vaccine people versus the unvaccinated people. Now, it was a violent stabbing that took place in Los Angeles 3 days ago. Okay, this video was posted up on YouTube, and it was pandemonium. You feel what I'm saying? What I don't understand is that why is there such a big debate over people that's vaccinated and unvaccinated? Listen, it is a choice. Okay, being pro-life is a choice. All right, abortion is a choice. You feel me? So everyone has the right to free will. If a person does not want to get vaccinated, they don't have to. They don't have to. That's like making somebody at 50 years old who don't want to get tested for prostate cancer, telling him, yo, you need to go get tested for prostate cancer, or I can't hang out with you, or I'm about to beat you up. I don't gotta go get that test if I don't want to. The same way somebody ain't gotta go get that shot. You feel what I'm saying? They don't have to. But why are we fighting one another over this thing? The reality is this, ladies and gentlemen, okay? They told you in the very beginning that this thing is like the common cold. All right? Yo, asymptomatic people don't know that they have it. People that's symptomatic, they know they have it. Mask up, stay 6 feet, wash your hands, all this other kind of stuff that they done gave you as far as precautions. Respect somebody else's right. Yo, listen, you don't have to practice the same religion that I practice. You not religion. I want to say that. Excuse me. Let me change that word. You don't have to practice the same way of living in our practice. If you Muslim, you Muslim. You Christian, you Christian. You Jew, you practice Judaism, you practice Judaism. That's what you do. But why is there such a violent backlash of people who are choosing not to get the vaccine? It's really mind-boggling to me. You dig what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Before, it was like, everything God said already. It already said. I mean, y'all may get mad at me when I say it, but I'm going to say it. Everything that was considered to be bad is now good, and everything that's good is considered to be bad. All right. So, the violence that's taking place, you feel people, they're condoning this level of violence. People are saying, "Yo, you ain't getting the vaccine, yo." That's right. We out here with this. You dig what I'm saying? The same way that Trump was promoting the storming of the Capitol. Violence seems just to be the only way. But like I told you before, people used to say, yo, we not doing no violence, this, that, and the third. And now we got violence. It's the front page on TV, front page on the papers, front page everywhere. You dig what I'm saying? Anything that's violent. But now even more so than ever, people are violent more so when it comes to this vaccine people versus the unvaccinated people. Let me tell y'all something, man. Look, if that's your choice, that's your choice. Like my man Kenny said today, my mentor, he shared something with me that was very, very, I believe was very poignant. He said to me, that, getting a shot is like wearing a flea collar. Okay. Now, does it kill the fleas? No, it doesn't kill the fleas, but it wards it off. You dig what I'm saying? That's what getting a shot is like. It's like a flea and tick collar. All right. So after you get the flea and tick collar, right, that stuff gets into, gets onto the pet that you have. You feel me? And it basically protects the pet for whatever the period of time that it's supposed to protect it. All right. No one said that this shot was people that get is going to last forever. They already said that. You're going to have to get another one. You got to get 2 of them, not just the one. So I'm just saying, when you look at these vaccine people versus the unvaccinated people, yo, it's off the chain. You know what I'm saying? So look, if you got a friend that's vaccinated and you're unvaccinated, so we've said, should people even get the vaccine? With that said, yo, it's a choice, Sharif. It's a choice. People will choose it. You dig what I'm saying? So it's like looking at a menu, right? Yo, you got cheese, you got cheese and eggs with an omelet, you got cheese and eggs and scrambled. You got a choice. You can choose whether to get poached eggs. It's a menu for this right now. Okay? It's a menu for this. If people don't want to get it, yo, fine. And they feel like they want to, not say gamble with their life. I won't even say gambling with their life. And they feel like they following the proper precautions, yo, fine. You know what I'm saying? I got people who believe in Psalms 91. Like, yo, said, protect it. You did what I mean? Shout out to my man Pro Style Rel. So I'm just saying. So when you got these people who are out here projecting the violence, it's up. Like I said again, before I even go on, if you want to get the vaccine, you'll fine, get it. If you don't want to get it, like I said, it's a menu, and it's a choice. You got free will to get it, don't get it. Yes, no, right, wrong, left, right. You have free will, period. That's what this boils down to. But let's go on the flip side of this, and I'm going to ask a question. Have anybody noticed the amount of money that they're spending to put black faces on the television screen to promote black people getting the vaccine? I'll wait. I'm gonna pause for a second because I know I know for a fact with the audience that I have right now, who is very conscious and very aware. If you wasn't paying attention to that, pay attention now. Almost every commercial that you see about the vaccine has black faces on it. Many of them, to be exact. So here's a question. All right. If we are 13% of the population is walking that's in the United States, right? Because this question was posed by I forgot the sister name. She had a live the other day, and I will definitely get it. I take no credit for the question, so I got to let you know this question that I'm asking came from someone else, and I'm going to ask it the way that she asked it. All right. The reality of it is this. Here's the question. If we are 13% of the population here in the United States, right? Why is it that they're pushing the vaccine on us more than they're just pushing it on people who are actually getting sick from it? I'm just saying, like, people that are getting sick from it, some of them aren't even getting the shot still. I know two of them. So, Tuskegee experiment, all these other experiments that they put in the food, things like that. Yo, listen, the government, I'm sorry, you guys are proving yourself to be untrustworthy. So a lot of people just aren't going for it. So if you want to understand why you have so much drama with this thing of vaccine versus the unvaccine, well, thank you to your local government. Thank you to your government for, guess what? Promoting this just like this. You know what I'm saying? So it's an untrustworthy situation. A lot of people aren't trusting what's going on. Let's talk about the next thing. You know what I'm saying? I told you this is just a week in review for me right now. We just chopping it up. Let's talk about Dr. Boyce Watkins. This is the link right here. All right, black people quitting their jobs. More people of color are quitting their jobs. They're like, yo, listen, I'm sitting around at home, hanging out with my family. I don't even like what I do. I don't like what I do. You feel what I'm saying? Are you getting the booster? No, I'm not getting the booster. I already told you, Cherie. But I already got my shot. You know what I'm saying? I got the 2 shots. That's all I'm getting. I'm done. Okay? They should have came out and said with the first one, I'm not putting all that in my body. I'm good. You feel me? So however long this shot lasts, you feel what I'm saying? I'm going to take my vitamins, my vitamin C's, my D2s, my B12s, my zinc, and I'm running with it. You feel me? Along with God's protection. So that's where I'm at with it. If anybody got a problem with that, yo, listen, you can stay from around me because I keep 10 masks on me. You dig what I'm saying? I got 2 right here next to me right now. Ba-da-ding, da-da-ding. This is what I run with. You dig? So, like I said, man, Dr. Boyce Watkins, he had a podcast today called talking about how black people are quitting their jobs. And he broke it down. He had a 15-minute podcast, and it was so dope the way that he broke it down. You feel what I'm saying? And he was talking about how people are sitting at home realizing, like, yo, this is not what I want to do anymore. All right. I've been chained to a tree like a wild dog out in the yard, okay? And they only come out to feed me, and that's it. I don't want to be here anymore, respectfully, okay? A lot of people are starting to find their niche in the game of life, okay? Just like he has said, and Dr. Boyce Watkins, in my opinion, is a very, very valued asset to the black community. I think that his word is golden. I've even followed some of his financial advice. The Black Business School, check him out. The hashtag is hashtag B1. Definitely check that out. And if you have become a business, like he said, people that are part of the Black Business School will support and follow because like I believe he believes that we need to support our own. It's not that I'm racist. I'm not whatsoever. It's just that, the black dollar needs to stay in the black community, period. You feel me? It falls 20 times faster than any other ethnic group. That's just the bottom line. But you have more women who are opening up businesses, and so I'm asking, where are the brothers at right now? Brothers, where are you at? Where you at? You feel what I'm saying? I need for you guys to chime in You know what I'm saying? Let's get with somebody right now. What's up? Shout out to my girl Cassie in the building. Let's open these businesses, man. You know, I always say this about the drug dealer. I tell the drug dealer, man, listen, if you're going to take away, you got to put back. If you're going to take away, you got to put back. Because at the end of the day, you know, the only way you leave in the game is death, prison. Period. You dig what I'm saying? But at least if you got children, you got something to show for this. All right. Leave some type of wealth for your children or a blueprint for your children. Don't just leave them something to say that, yo, my pop sold drugs, so I'm gonna do the same thing. Yo, you did it so they don't have to do it. So why are you still doing it? Get your money right. Ladies and gentlemen, get your money right. You dig what I'm saying? Support. Yo, listen, I don't do Bitcoin. But I've already told so many people that, yo, you can tag your business. What's going on? What's going on? True Essence Designs. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. Yo, you can tag your businesses on my page. I don't care. If you are a business owner, yo, you can use my Facebook page. You can use my Twitter page. You can tag my IG page. I don't care. Promote. Push. I'm just following people just for the hell of it. And the reason being, especially if you black, I want you to win. Like I said, I'm not a racist. I just believe that the black dollar, you dig what I'm saying, it's supposed to be spent where it's supposed to be spent. Hold on, man. I got somebody on IG that want to come on right now. My man Sharif gave me a request. So y'all about to hear this conversation. My man Sharif just want to get on with us right now. If you're on Facebook, you'll be able to hear the audio, but you may not get the video, all right? Unless you go on IG. What's going on, Sharif D. King in the building?
What's going on? You tell me.
Man, what's going on, beloved?
Listen, I want to chime in your conversation.
Uh-oh, here we go. Hold on.
I want to chime in on the conversation.
I'm listening.
Because we're talking about the black dollar, and I want to make it clear. Not everybody practices what they preach.
Facts.
Not everybody practices what they preach. And if you are about really spending money the right way, you're going to start with yourself. Before you invest in somebody else, you're going to invest in yourself. How many times have people invested in themselves before they even thought about investing in somebody else? We can't talk about what we're going to do for other people unless we're doing it for ourselves, because it's not believable to you before you sell it to anybody else. We talk about trying to have everything else that everybody else want, but before we can even spend money on ourselves, we need to save money for ourselves. How many people are really saving cash? How many people are saving cash?
Speak on it.
I just want to know, because at the end of the day, everybody wants to follow what they see. Everybody thinks it's fire. You want to have Jordans on, you want to have Pradas on, you want to have Louis on, you want to have Gucci on. But what are you doing to make sure that you're more valuable? If you buy Louis, you should be able to match that in your bank account. Double time.
Say that again, bro. Say that again.
If you buy Louis, you got to have Louis money in your bank account. So that's twice as much. The thing is, every time you buy something, you should think about, yo, when I buy this, do I have the money in the bank to equate to what I just spent? That's the reality of it. We got to stop talking about black entrepreneurship before we talk about black empowerment.
Okay.
You need to empower yourself and empower other people before you start to think about just growing the black dollar. You got to be there first. So
being that you jumped on this thread right here with this one, you know, I love when me and you, get together. We talk about this thing. So I feel you. Now, who wouldn't you say that if I am investing or if I'm spending my money, say with you, right, and I see what you're doing, right? Don't you think that it's a form of empowering, even though I'm spending money with you, and at the same time, I see you are influencing me.
I'm not saying that that's not influential.
Okay.
I'm not. But what we do is we oftentimes spend money and think about what we did with our money.
Okay. That's fair.
Oh, I can't believe I just spent this money. You can believe it because you spent it.
Facts.
You spent the money. So what I'm saying to you is learning how to properly spend money and not feel bad about it, which means, all right, I got $300 to spare. Whatever I buy should be no more than $100 to $150 because I can only double that up. And I need to be able to put that in the bank.
So basically, you saying before it's like being on the block. For some people, they like, they on the block. You dig what I'm saying? So they need to make sure that they shoebox money is straight. It's for all my people that's on the grind as well. Sometimes we got to simplify it. You feel what I'm saying? So you saying that they need to make sure they got their shoebox money straight before they go ahead and start spending their money.
If you want to call it shoebox money, but then if you want to really get into that, then you should really be having shoebox money aside from your bank account money.
Facts.
There's a rule. You got to be able to just put money away. And before we start spending $100, let me just say this. $100 is big money to somebody who ain't saving.
Facts.
$100 can mean a lot. So first, what you need to do is you need to practice saving $1 a day. We talked about this offline.
Yeah, for sure.
Start saving $1 a day. Now, what gets critical is you say you believe in this dream. You say you want this. You say you want to be here, but it takes some sacrifice. You ain't even spending money on your craft. Then you'll sit back and look at YouTube or look at just another space and idolize somebody else. You're going to be willing to make somebody else iconic because you're spending money on them. Then, all in all, you really are not proud that you supported that person because you ain't spend money on you. All I'm saying to you is rewind back. Yes, you should spend money on a black business or a black entrepreneur or a black icon or a black influential magnet. And I'm saying a magnet because you spend money on things that you're attracted to. That's just full force. You got to make your dollar work. Making $2 a day. That's a fact. Making $2 a day. Now, my thing is this. People aren't concerned with that. But then they get caught up in Bitcoin and crypto. I'm about to say it wrong. Because
Cryptocurrency?
Cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
So, you haven't even invested in what you're doing, but you're going to spend money on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and all that stuff. When it started with you. It started with you. If you're not going to put money away for your own brand, how you going to do it for somebody else? When you invest in Bitcoin, that's another person's brand.
Facts.
That's another man's brand. Cryptocurrency is another man's brand, whether you believe it or not. Talk to me nice. If you got $350, tell me what you do with it. I don't want to hear what you're going to do with $350,000. Well, you can't show me what you could do with $350. Better yet, you can't show me what you could do with $35.
Facts.
We have to stop. Yes, you should invest, but you can't do nothing for somebody else that you ain't do for yourself.
Facts.
And you looking at yourself in the mirror like, yo, I can't believe I spent money on this. And you're really looking for the favor to be returned, to be reciprocated.
Facts.
You can't grow like that. You can't grow like that. How we win is by each of us saving our bread. Can we get to 7K? Can we hold that on to the side? Let me hold this chicken. Everybody talk about getting money, but can everybody say they got 10K to the side, away from your account that your businesses, that your bills are paid off of? You don't have it. You don't have it. Do you have what you pay in rent saved? I'm talking about whatever you pay for rent. Do you have that set aside for 12 months?
Mm.
No, you don't. No, you don't. So miss me with talking about putting money to the side for another person's brand when you ain't focused on yourself. 2 years spent on yourself will show you a lot about what you could do for somebody else.
Mm. So let me go ahead and chime in on this. So for everyone that's listening right now, this is a conversation that Sharif and I had, for the last 4 years? Yeah, we had this conversation for the last 4 years. Then one day, I went to go see Sharif, and, it was at a time when I was going through a turbulent situation with self. You did what I'm saying? And Sharif gave me a book, Think and Grow Rich with Napoleon Hill. Then, we got on the phone a couple of weeks ago, I think, like 3 weeks ago, and we started talking about the saving of $1, right? Let me tell y'all something. Steel sharpens steel. You dig what I'm saying? When Sharif started talking to me, I felt like I didn't feel any kind of way about it. I felt proud that, somebody was sharpening my sword. So, just to give you an update, sir, I made a decision besides paying my tithes, got to pay my tithes, cream off the top, you dig what I'm saying? I saved up so far, just putting pennies away, dollars, and I put everything together. I started saving a little bit more than $1 because I was like, I need to catch this up. You dig what I'm saying? And so to the side, just right now, if I wanted to do something with my $273 and some cents, I can go ahead and do it. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm not even touching. I'm rarely, when I say I rarely eat out now, I barely eat out. I may eat out once a week. And that's just a treat for me. So everything else, I'm meal prepping now. I cut back on food, because I'm saying to myself, I'm also trying to lose weight. So I'm saying, all of this plays a role in my financial reconstruction.
You know why though?
Tell them why, man. Tell them why, man.
Becomes a strategy for everything else.
That's right. Say that again for him.
One sacrifice becomes a strategy for everything else. Because when you save, you can't go buy that. When you can't buy that, now you got to eat this way. When you got to eat this way, you're going to lose weight. Now your lifestyle becomes different. See, it's all a domino effect. And until we get that right, we're going to have a hard time with supporting the black business because we ain't got no money to spend on the black businesses. We're not saving no money to spend on the black businesses because we chasing other people's brands. We idolize Jordan, Nike, Timberland, Gucci, Louis, Fendi, Prada.
Yeezys.
And look, I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm one of them guys. But what I realized is you make your brand fire. You make your brand hot. And so that's the other thing, is focusing on self so that you can get the support of somebody else. The other thing is everybody be screaming, black business, black business, black business. But I'm here for the quality.
Facts.
I'm here for black business, but I'm here for quality. If your joint is fire and you black, I'm with it. If your joint is trash and you black, I'm not. I'm going to support you because you black.
Facts.
Now, it doesn't mean that I'm not supporting my black people. Don't let that go over your head. I'll lock in with other people. But we got to understand, it's not just about having a black business. Because I'm black, everybody should support. We have to make it quality. And that's what we don't do. First, we was like, we don't have no business, we don't get no support. Now we start screaming at black businesses, but now we just throwing stuff out there. We got to be quality, and we got to be 10 times more fire than the average.
Facts.
And if not, you ain't going to get, if I love to be fly, you're not going to get my attention by just putting something out and me supporting because you black. Miss me with that.
The same way that I tell, athletes that I train, you know what I'm saying? Or even my own kids, you have to be 10 you have to be 10 times better than your counterpart. There's somebody out here for your spot. Period. It don't matter who you are, black or white. It don't matter. Somebody out here for your spot. You want to start? Oh, first of all, I got to tell you, Jabri is starting in his first game on Friday. So we're going to talk about that. Y'all just want to let y'all know I'm a proud dad today. My son waited 3 years for his turn, and guess what? He is now the starting outside linebacker for one of the biggest football games of the year, and because he listened. He ain't just listen to me. You feel what I'm saying? Listen to Sharif, because I stopped talking. And so I want to talk about that in a minute as well. So, I don't want y'all to think that, Sharif coming on is a combative or, he's at me. Understand something. Again, steel sharpens steel. When I tell people, listen, you got to be better than your counterpart. You have to study. You have to read. You have to read more. You got to study more. You have to research more. Listen, it's like being a bionic man or a bionic woman. You got to be you got to be better, stronger, faster. Your brand got to be solid. You got to be solid in your customer service and your representation of your brand, especially that. Because we find that in the black community, all right, that many of us do not have customer service skills at all. And the reason why that is, and I'm going to tell you, that's because many of you that's in the business of having your own business, y'all don't have a servant's heart. We got that. That's going. You don't have a servant's heart. You dig what I'm saying? So in order for you to be able to connect with your customer, you got to be able to have a servant's heart. So and Sharif, you're right. I believe in supporting black business. And don't get me wrong. Before you came on, you requested to come on. I was just getting ready to speak about how the effect of being ineffective in your business has on every individual that's starting their own business. Because the reality is that we're grouped. One person mess up, one look bad, we all look bad.
That's a fact.
It's a fact. You know what I'm saying? And so when you have people who are starting businesses or have businesses that are failing, a lot of times they just don't go back to the basic. You feel what I'm saying? And the basic is what you said in the very beginning. You go out and buy that Louis bag, you better be able to match that same amount that you just spent that's in an account away from your regular money. Because if you need that Louis bag for an investment, you can't turn the Louis bag back in.
No, you can't.
But at least you over here, you got this money sitting over here that's away from your regular money. You dig what I'm saying? And I can become liquid for $500 to put as an investment on myself.
We have to learn that LeBron sacrificed to become LeBron James. Michael Jordan sacrificed to become Michael Jordan. Louis Vuitton sacrificed to become Louis Vuitton. And so we support other people, and I'm not saying this wrong. I'm saying you got to learn how to
do yourself.
Put your brand first, and you got to have the upkeep. You got to have the upkeep. If you're not wearing your brand all the time, who's going to know about your brand? But it takes money for you to always wear your brand all the time.
Facts.
Even in the very beginning, it's going to take a lot of money for you to put into yourself for people to draw to it and be like, oh, he always wearing it. They're joining the guy. How much that cost? And it started like that. But the problem is we're saying support black business without saying put the money in, sacrifice, lift yourself up, gain, grow, glow.
Facts. So I just want to let everybody know one sacrifice becomes a setup for everyone else and everything else. And I put everyone else in because when people start to see your sacrifice, those who are committed to doing the same things that you're doing, they're gonna follow a similar blueprint. They're gonna ask, what are you doing? They're gonna inquire. They're gonna want to be around people that's doing the same things that they're trying to do. You feel what I'm saying? Sharif is in a whole different state, but I can tell you this much: I'm always talking with him, and he's always giving me jewels, and we bounce things off each other. You feel what I'm saying? So I love you, bro. I appreciate you. Always ready to drop the fire. You feel what I'm saying? Always ready to drop the fire. But look, before you even go, I'm not even gonna let you go yet. All right. I got one more topic that I was getting ready to discuss. I thought it was gonna be a 20-minute podcast, but guess what? You know what I'm saying? God has something different in mind. You feel me? Yeah, I will give a shout out to everybody that's on IG right now, everyone that's on Facebook that watch and people that definitely review the podcast later on. Like I said, and I always say it and I say it again. I don't care if I just talk to one person in the audience or if I talk to 10,000, 10 million, as long as my podcast affects one person's life positively, I did my job that I was assigned to do. Understand? I'm not gonna say sent to do what I was assigned to do. You feel me? Al. Well, Sharif, you can't answer this question right here, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. Last topic of the night. Being single in this day and time. You can't answer that one, little bro. But listen, I only put that out there to everyone because I do want to hear your opinion about that. What do you think about people that are single in this particular day and time? Why do you think people are just so single? Just in your opinion.
I think people are single for a number of reasons. I think people only want to be in relationships for the sake of bragging rights. There's something that you really gotta want in order to have it, in order to keep it. Right? So if you're and it's funny, my girl just joined.
She just I know. This might turn into a three-way in a minute, guys.
I'm ready to go.
Hold on, hey Kalani, get the request out. Hold on, we gonna get Kalani on here.
I think the importance of being in a relationship is that you really had to spend time with yourself to know that you really want that.
Right.
Right? And some people recognize that, I really don't want to be in a relationship. I really don't want this. But for me to get where I am now, it took me to realize that I really wanted that. A lot of people out here pump faking, making it seem like they want to be single.
Facts.
They want to be tried. But the reality is, you 10 times more fly if you got a great woman by your side.
Facts. Al, bing, look who in the building. A lot of mommy in the building. Listen, this just turned up to 10 just now. You feel me?
Yeah, what are we talking about?
So listen, I had to chop it up just now. You did what I'm saying. So tonight my podcast was talking about the spread. So I was talking about various things. I was talking about how you got the violent protests going on with vaccine people versus unvaccinated people. We was talking about Dr. Boyce Watkins, how he was speaking about how black people are quitting their jobs to pursue their life's dreams because they done sat around in COVID and post-COVID and realized, this is not the career I want to be in, right?
Absolutely.
Then, my last topic of the night. And I told Sharif, I didn't think that he was really able to answer this particular question, but then you popped on. Shout out to everybody joining the live right now. Shout out to everybody that can hear the audio for this right now. I was asking about being single in this day and time.
So let me get to it. Since this is what we're doing.
Let's get to it.
I think there's a time that you have to recognize what you really want. If you are designed for a big life, and you don't want to be by yourself at the top. I'm going to be honest and say that I used to want to be at the top by myself. I used to want to be at the top. Yeah, give me that face. I used to want to be at the top by myself. And I always felt like if I was single, no one would interrupt my route to the top. I'm like, if I get in a relationship, they're gonna hold me back. I can't deliver. Now I gotta worry about them, but I could just be worried about me. I could be, I was really, really like not in the right state of mind because people thinking, oh, I'm single, I'm fly, I could get fly, and people could look at me. But the reality is, when you're in a relationship, more people look at you, right? And on top of that, you're even more fly when it's two of y'all doing it together. You when it's that's why I'd be like, oh, she got a man, and then dudes is jumping in her DM, dudes is on her body, dudes want to connect with her, or it's like, oh, females are on him, they're on his body, they want him. Oh, he got her. It's like, oh, if he can get her, then I want him. So
that's a fact. I mean, I think guys say that all the time. Like, they didn't get the attention until they popped out with a girl saying they had a girlfriend. Then that's when everybody really was trying to see, like, how solid is it? Like, oh, your girl posting these pictures. Oh, she doing this. She's saying y'all this. She got the cute caption. Y'all dressed up. Y'all going on dates. Let me slide in his DM and see if it's really solid. Let me see how solid it really is. And you have to already be expecting that. It's a lot easier to be single because people aren't necessarily testing. If they want you, they want you. But when you in a relationship, they're definitely going to try you.
I think that people that are single right now, including myself, I won't. But this is not my thinking. I'm, just having conversation with various people. I think that there are some people out here who still haven't dealt with themselves. Period. Let's just call that what it is. A lot of people just haven't dealt with themselves. I think that there's a lot of people that are out here who are searching again. Searching for something that already rests and lies within inside of them. I think that, like Sharif said in the very beginning, that there's a lot of people out here pump faking. You feel what I'm saying? Knowing that they really don't want to be single. Now, I'm going to be 100 with you. I don't want to be single. I do want to be remarried. I would love to be in a relationship. But I also understand my position and how I'm being elevated. You know what I'm saying? Because even when you find someone that you want to be with, promotion don't come from you. Promotion still comes from God. So
come on, that's the word.
Listen,
It's a better question though. Are you looking to wait to elevate to find that, or are you willing to give it a shot right now and say, you know what? Even though I'm about to elevate, I'm gonna rock with Shorty. I'm going to build with her and still elevate. And the reason I'm asking you this, and I still want you to answer this question, OG, is because I was in that space.
I know.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were in that space. Amen.
All right. So I'm gonna answer that honestly for you. I'm going to answer that honestly. All right.
You know what I'm saying? I found you.
Okay, let him answer. Let's hear it.
Hold on. I like.
They want to give me work.
I want to hear your answer. Are you willing to like press pause and build with somebody, or are you just focused and trying to go to the top alone?
Well, I always believe that first of all, it's lonely at the top. You dig what I'm saying? So, I don't think that getting there by myself is something that I want to do. Will I do it? Sure, I will. If I have to. Well, if there was somebody who I felt right now that I could see myself being with to pause and like you said, pause, elevate and put it out there, so that put that seed down. Yes, I would. I would.
Well, let me say this. I don't even think so. Maybe I misspoke, but I don't think you have to pause your elevation to be with somebody, and that's That's what I had. That's like the back and forth that Sharif and I had a lot, because he didn't think that there was a woman that could really support his grind and hustle. And I think that's one of the things that I love about Sharif the most, is that he's going to get to it, that he's passionate about what it is that he's doing, his career. No matter how many times he might get knocked down, he's always going to get back up again. And so I admire that about him 100%. And I never want to take him off his game. I was trying to show him, look, I got to hustle too. I'm out here trying to get it too. I'm building stuff too. And so we can build together our individual stuff, and I can be here to support you, but we can also build together. And if you're not willing, and if you don't think that I'm going to support you in the build, then I would never want to at the top with somebody having already built.
Ooh.
Now every woman, hold on, because she can throw some words at you.
Yeah.
Her favorite thing is she could have did anything to word. I believe it. She shows me every single time that statement is true.
Facts.
But what I'm saying is, there's certain mindsets, right? And so
Right.
there was a reason for that. Because, okay, call the truth true. Call the truth the truth. When I met Kalana, I said straight up to her, I'm not willing to sacrifice whatever for my career. And it wasn't her asking me to do that. I just felt like every woman that I met, they either got scared at what I was doing, or they just felt like, oh, you got to put that down and you just got to be home. You know, the whole lovey-dovey thing.
Right.
Be home, watch TV, do the Al Bundy thing, eat, sleep. If you're having sex, you have sex. You go to sleep, you get back up again.
Do the same thing all over again.
All over again. So I wanted to, and it was wrong for me to say it the way I said it, and I'm admitting it right now because I never fully, truly admitted it to her. But I was wrong for the way I said it, but it was all about hurt. So
that's real.
On both sides of the fence, it's like you hurt being single and you hurt in a relationship. That's why everybody talk about going to get a counselor. But before getting a counselor, you got to know that you need the counseling. You got to know that you...
Facts. Now, that's real. And I respect it because I know that your perspective was only based on what you had dealt with before. And, I mean, I had stuff. I was used to being like, oh, you don't want this? Cool. I'm about to cut this off quick.
Oh,
but, so, I mean, I was really like, oh, if he don't see what I'm bringing to the table, I'm out. Like, I'm not about to try to convince you of
it's
what.
not going to chase you.
What? What you say?
It's not going to chase you.
Yeah, absolutely not. I'm never chasing you. But I just wanted him, I put out how I feel. I told him I wasn't scared of his career. I wasn't scared of the fact that he was on TV, that he was doing his thing. That didn't make me nervous. I was solid and confident in who I was. But if he wasn't ready for that,
right,
then maybe I'll catch you on the next. Maybe not.
On the flip side, right?
Maybe.
But let me just, because you're jabbing a little bit.
I'm not jabbing.
Let me just say this. There's no way to be ready. There's no way. I used to think you gotta, even with a career, I gotta be prepared. You can't say what God has for you is for you, and then play this scared card. You gotta go out there.
Okay.
You gotta be out there. You gotta put yourself out there. And so I would have been missing out on a treasure if I would have said, oh, I'm chasing my career, and I might have gotten shot up to the top. Who said false?
That's my cousin.
I'm saying, hey, cousin. I'm saying I would have been wrong to be like, oh, you know what? And this is what people say. Oh, if it's for me, it's going to come back to me. Wrong.
That's false.
Now, that's false, cousin.
It goes back to a story that, you know, I tell people, and it talks about the warehouse. And in this warehouse, there's many rooms in the warehouse. I don't know if I told Sharif this. And so when you go into this warehouse has names on many doors. So one day I went into the room that had my name on it. And I asked the question, like, why does each package in this room have my name on it? And it said, and the voice said to me that these are all of the blessings that was returned because you chose to move from the address that I was sending it to.
Oh, wow.
Apology. But that's the point of me saying, you do not have to, because her cousin put, I'm not being biased, I suppose you can be prepared and ready. I think it went over the head.
Explain it.
You can be prepared and ready. I'm saying that even the blessings that you get, it's not because you're prepared. It's not because you're prepared. You don't have to always try to be the best you can be and prepare. You don't have to be prepared. You just don't. You don't have to be prepared. You know what I'm saying? I think the importance of knowing who you are is one thing. And God is gonna provide, period. And you're gonna do the work. That's just what it is.
Hold on, Reed. Let me jump in on this. So she's saying elaborate on it, all right? So basically what Sharif is saying is that you could still be on your path to greatness and still pursue a relationship, okay? You don't have to be in a certain place financially, emotionally. Not emotionally. You don't have to be in a certain place financially, because a lot of times people are gauging their level of relationship. You dig what I'm saying? On where they at financially. You know what I mean? And so what I believe Sharif is saying is that if you're saying that you've changed, or you growing and you've changed your ways and you have this particular level of faith now and this, that, and the third, why are you only acting on it over here, but you're not acting on it in its totality?
Right. And
so
cousin said, so the steps you take to get to the blessing aren't a form of preparation. That's not what I'm saying. It may not be all the stuff that you need to be qualified for that position. You could be working and you could be working toward it and still get pushed to the top. Still be a VP. You can be pushed to different positions that you're not even ready for. That, yes, you was preparing, you was working toward it, but you weren't fully ready for that position. In fact, a lot of the people that we see at the top of the game in any form, in any industry, a lot of times they weren't ready for that elevation. They weren't ready for that elevation. So what I'm saying is, yes, you're going to have to prepare all the time. You're always going to have to prepare. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just what it is. You always got to pray for the blessing because it's on your heart for a reason, and then you got to work for it. God will do the rest. But it doesn't mean because you elevated that you worked for everything that you had. Sometimes you might have done the work 10 years ago and you get elevated. She says, okay, so 50% Sharif, 50% Cuzzy. I got it now. No. Wrong again. 100% your cousin, and I'm 5%. And the reason why I said that is because who Kalana has made me better. Tenfold, 100%, 100%. She elevated me, and I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for a treasure like Kalana. I'm going to keep it all the way. You want the real? Let me give you the real. I wasn't ready for Kalana. That's why I was scared. And quote unquote, when a real nigga speak, real niggas ain't telling you that. They ain't telling you she put her head back and she a real nigga.
But I'm you really be calling me a real nigga. Like, you say I act like the fourth member of the Lox, and I don't say that.
What I'm saying to you is, I can literally on my wall, I can fill up my whole wall with why Kalana is a blessing, without speaking about me. I can fill up my whole wall with just the reasons why Kalana is a blessing and why I'm only 5%. Why I'm only 5% of that 110% that people asking for. Now, will I work for it? Would I go above and beyond for her? Yes, I will. But I'm telling people that people don't admit that they're not ready when they get up. When they get lifted, you get lifted to that new position, you ain't ready. You ain't ready.
Now, I feel you. I can be honest and say that there were aspects of me that weren't ready to be a girlfriend again because I had so much hurt and pain from the past. And a lot of times, the trust issues that I had from the past, I would try to project on him. And so I would be like, his phone would be going off in the middle of the night. And Sharif has every anything social media child, he got that on his phone. And it's going to ding. And so every time his phone would ding in the middle of the night, I'd be like, well, who? And he'd be like, babe, it's Instagram.
It's just social media, bro.
And I would be like, you need to turn that off because I'm thinking it's somebody texting you in the middle of the night. But that was me. That was what I was used to. Those were the trust issues that I hadn't dealt with. And so there were very much things. It's not just him. There were very much pieces of me that weren't all the way prepared to receive or even trust what he was bringing to the table, that it was real. Because, and I can be honest and say there were moments where I thought Sharif was going to be like, oh, it's good now. This is working for right now. But it would be like any minute he gonna be like, this too much. This standard of living that you're trying to I was acting like a Locks member. That's what he said. This standard of living that you're trying to maintain, at any minute he's gonna be like, yeah, this is too much. I'm about to move on to the next and get more from another chick that isn't requiring everything that Kalana is requiring. And I kept like living almost in fear, like, oh, is this gonna be the thing? And really, we had kind of got into it. And he was like, I'm not leaving you, and I was like, oh. Okay, like I'm not leave. Like it's nothing you can do that's gonna make me want to leave. And it's like there's a certain level of safety that comes with knowing that you can make a mistake and somebody isn't gonna be like, you know what, I'm out. But people don't talk about that.
That's just how it is, and it's more real that way. It's more real when you know that nobody's perfect.
Yeah,
I'm not automatically saying like, oh, this got to be right or that's gonna be right, but you do what you do. I'm not asking you to deliberately be wrong, but when you're
wrong, deliberately be a member of the
Lot. How's she doing that?
No, he.
Hold on. Y'all about to make me choke.
Because that's really what he calls me, but I don't mean it. I think it's just like I don't know, maybe it's
so. Hold on, Zareen, because I feel like I got my whistle on and my referee shirt. So look, check it out. I have Kalana brought up a couple of things. Me personally, I think being single in this particular time, I think it's just weird. Let me read your cousin's comment. She says, I feel like you guys are solid, just based off of communication. Whether it's right or wrong, weak or strong, you guys are soundproof on communication, and I like that. That's what's up, cousin. So,
yeah, I appreciate that.
Definitely a shout out to y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Big muscles up out here. You dig what I'm saying on that?
Okay, we flexing.
So, I'm fat out here. I'm fat out here. You know what I'm saying? This fat muscle right here, B. So, all I'm saying is that, I feel like being single out here at this particular moment in time is kind of weird. You know what I mean? I done seen a lot of weirdness in trying to develop or grow a relationship. You know what I'm saying? And that's what me included, like trying to open myself up to certain things. And you brought up an interesting point. I hear a lot of sisters talking about, should I dumb myself down. And, because like Sharif said, like, it was a question, you had a question like, can he live up to what I'm asking him for? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yo, I'm going to tell you, and I'll tell any woman on this that's listening to this. Yo, listen, don't compromise who you are. Period.
Absolutely.
Don't compromise who you are. And I'm not saying that in a sense of being like, yo, you got to be a hard ass, this, that, and third. No, I'm not saying that. Don't compromise who you are as a queen. Don't compromise who you are if you're a spiritual person. Don't compromise who you are as a follower of whatever of Christ. You know what I mean? Don't compromise who you are as just a person, as a being, as a human being. Don't do that. And I tell a man the same exact thing. So now that we put that out there. How do you believe? Because you two have both gone through this. All right. How did you guys strip away the stigma of pain that you both have experienced in your young lives to get to where you at right now?
By letting it develop. Not coming into it and trying to develop it. Not coming in and saying, I'm going to build that. I'm going to take this board out. I'm going to put this board up. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I simply said, you know what? I'm going to take the liberty of making sure I'm happy and adding to her happiness, and whatever that means is whatever that means. And all I want to be able to do is make her better.
Yeah.
But in making her better, it means I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to sit back. I'm willing to vibe. I'm willing to do all these different things to make sure she's good, make sure she's safe, make sure I'm understanding her and not communicating, but understanding. But it's not perfect. We here right now, we had a lot of great moments, but there were times where we bumped heads because we were still learning.
No, that's a fact. I think for me, the key is I had to get healed from a lot of stuff, and it was a process, but I had to be okay being single. And I think that there's a lot of women who think that they have to be with someone. And when I got out of the mentality of thinking that I'm in a certain age, now I hit this certain age, it's time for me to be a certain thing. It's time for me to be married. It's time for me to have kids. It's time for me, like when I released all of that and I really had to lay it down and go to God about it, to be honest, I really had to say, I'm frustrated that this hasn't happened. I'm frustrated that this hasn't worked out the way that I want it to work out. I had to really be honest with myself about the things that I wanted and that I didn't have. And I had to get to a point where I was like, you know what? I'm good. Just if it never happened, I'm good being single. And I really had to start being intentional with Kalana. So I started really like doing stuff for me. And the year that I met Sharif was one of the best years of my life, not because I met Sharif alone, but because I got into agreement with God and what he was calling me to do alone. Before anything, like I had to go through a process where I accepted who God called me to be. And there was a long time where my identity was wrapped up into being a wife or into being a mother or into being the perfect whatever that I had created in my mind, whether it was building my career. And then, to be honest, I built the career and I still wasn't happy. I was like, well, dang, I did all of this and like, I have a great career. I love this. But I still felt like there was something missing. And the missing was I had to be in agreement with God. And once, no lie, after I was not looking to be in a relationship. I actually had just gotten to a place where I was starting to accept like, okay, I might just be rocking out single for a minute. Like this, if you want me to be single, just say that. Like that's where I was. I was like, if I ain't getting married, God, just say that. If I'm not gonna be whatever, just say that so I can like not think about it. But I had finally gotten to a place where I was, active in a lot of different things, and I was really happy with where I was. I had a birthday. I'll never forget. I had a quarantine birthday, and we did like a backyard water slide type vibe. It was one of my happiest birthdays because I was happy with me. And then that's when like Sharif and I started getting cool, and we were friends first, and I feel like it naturally progressed to a point where it was like, oh, that's my homie, like, and then it was like, this nigga ain't called me. And then he would be on the phone. He was like, hey, yeah, I'm about to go kick it with the boys. And then like he would be telling me his plans, but it was almost kind of like checking in, but we wasn't like, we still friends. And so it was like, this is starting to shift a little bit. And so I think it definitely, to his point, it naturally happened. We didn't have to force anything. But from my perspective, things kind of came into place when I was comfortable being single.
That's what's up. So I want to read something real quick from Hot Rod said, what up? He said, shout out to Hot Rod. Let me get up here. Let me see what he wrote. He said, I've never seen my brother this happy. I love the chemistry that you guys have built. Then Cuzzo says, coming pure and open-minded. Can't bring the past antics and mishaps into the current situation. Give each a clean slate and vibe. Love wins. Then I guess it's act why y'all so fake. I can't.
Oh, yeah.
So it says, allowing change, definitely understanding that there will be wrong moves, but still willing to work and learn. God has a big role as well. I agree with Ms. K. You have to find yourself first. Okay, that's dope. So now, she said, and you still got all that acting like the fourth member of the Locks. So, I want to, again, conversations with me and, Sharif always knows that we morph into something else all the time. So we started talking about this being single thing, right? But in this conversation, we went from being single to being happy being single with yourself, being, coming to the place of healing. You get what I'm saying? Now coming to the place of elevation, promotion, you feel me? Intention and being intentional. So when Sharif first told me about you, let me tell you something. His eyes looked like Tom and Jerry, like, right? With the big smile on his face. And I can actually see it through the phone. Okay?
Yeah.
And so I've heard nothing but nice things about you. Heck, don't get me wrong. He even told me when you was upset with him. So, don't think I ain't get the good and the bad. All right? So I just want to let you know, don't think I ain't get the good and the bad.
Absolutely.
One of the things that you both I've witnessed Sharif go through this, and then you spoke about this as well. You spoke about your process of healing. I think a lot of times people that are single, it goes back to Sharif's point in the very beginning when he said that people that are single are pump faking. I believe that totally. A lot of times they don't want to deal with their process of healing. Oh, it's too long. What do you mean it's too long? It's however long it's supposed to be. You hear what I'm saying? So, I look at people like that, like, what do you mean? You know what I'm saying? I think many people that are still single are refusing to compromise. And good night. She said that she got to get ready for this trip tomorrow. Good night, cousin. I got to get ready for a trip too, cousin. We love you, cuz.
Love you.
I think a lot of times people that are still staying single, that aren't dealing with their healing, refuse to compromise with, like, have to fight with themselves, dealing with that good angel and that bad angel. You dig what I'm saying? That sit on your shoulder, that be having that conversation with you, and you refuse to get in the middle of that conversation because it's like, I don't really feel like doing this. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all can. I feel like people that are still single, that don't want to deal with their healing, that don't want to compromise their level of community, they don't know how to communicate. You can't communicate with me with all emojis and eyes. I'm sorry. You can't give me one-line sentences after I ask you a full question. Okay? You can't try to put everything inside of a text message because we done lost context already. Okay, we moving on to something else. And I think one of the things that we spoke about earlier was being intentional. I think that many people are still single that don't want to deal with any of those things that I mentioned: communication, healing process, compromise. They're being intentional, all right. They're intentionally moving themselves away from what God has for them.
Absolutely.
And lastly, I believe that people that are still single, a lot of times they don't like having an honest conversation with themselves.
Yeah. I think I have a couple of married friends, and I've heard married people always talk about how marriage will show you yourself. Like, you will see, you can't, like, it's a mirror. And I think, especially when you're in a serious relationship and when you're being intentional in the relationship, it will show you the areas that you still need to work on, the areas that you are not necessarily refined in. And you have to be humble enough to take that criticism. You have to be humble enough to not, because I can be fully transparent. I'll get defensive sometimes and be like, what? And then I can flip it back on you real quick. Like, well, you ain't this either. Babe, don't make no faces, okay? I'm being honest. I'm telling the people what I'm working on. I need you to work with me. I can flip it, and I'm real good at that. But the reality is, you have to take a minute and deal with what someone is trying to tell you. As long, like, I do believe in telling somebody something in love. I do believe in them wanting to see it get resolved and not just pointing the finger. It has to be a process that you both are committed to. But I feel like a lot of people don't lean into that because they don't want anybody telling them anything. But if you're going to be in a real honest relationship, if you're looking to be in marriage, especially marriage, you're going to have to confront the parts of you that are ugly, that you can constantly ignore when you're alone, because people are going to see it. And so we both have to point stuff out for each other. And my goal is to always be able to hear them out, even if I got to take a minute to like take it in, and I can come back the next day and be like, you know what, babe, I didn't say that correctly. Or I apologize, and that's something I'm going to work on. Like, can you point that out? Like, don't stop telling me about that because I really want to get it right. And I don't do that out of love for him alone. It has a lot to do with the love that I have for him, but I also want to be the best version of myself. And the last thing that I want to do, where I could easily have an attitude, the last thing I want to do is jeopardize our relationship or his feelings. And so I don't want him to stop telling me something or be like, all right, well, forget it. She ain't even paying attention. Because it is kind of hard to hear a man's perspective sometimes. Sometimes they keep it in. It probably took a lot for him to even tell me something. And so I try to be extremely, it's hard. It's hard, but I try to be extremely understanding when he does tell me something. And I try to take it with as much grace as I possibly can. What?
I was just holding it before.
Oh, okay. I try to take it with as much grace as possible and not get into my locks bag, because I want to see him happy, and I want him to see that I am trying, and so that's important to me.
I just think, and let me just say this, I about this. Ever since the verses said a lot. I've been calling her the fourth member, but it really. It's just the fact Alana means well. She had that. Like we could like be mad at each other, but like when we outside, like she got my back. It's not like a. It's like but while we out here, we on game, and
yeah.
That's a big deal. I think when people communicate overall. Or together, people just communicate for them.
Hey, Sharif, you fading out.
I'm fading out?
Yeah.
You can't hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Okay. So basically what I'm saying is like a lot of people that communicate, whether they're single or in a relationship, they communicate just for them to be heard. And they don't communicate for everyone to be understood. That means if I say something, I want her to understand me. If she says something, I want to be understood, and I want to understand her, and then together we work on just hey, what did you say? Or, how did I get this wrong? Or when you said this, how did this make you feel? Because a lot of times the communication is just verbal. Your body language is saying something. I always tell Kalana
90% communication is nonverbal.
She got the illest. Like if she grill you. It feel like you just got hit with 9, like to the temple. Because she
pray for me. Like, okay.
What?
Pray for her. Pray for her.
Just her saying what is really her trying to understand.
Right.
But I'm from Harlem.
Right.
Say,
what? We like what?
Like, but she really wants to understand. But in that moment, it's like. She just was trying to express herself. There's times when she don't say a word, but her face just says it on. And I always say, baby, if we ever went to a barbecue or anything like that, somebody would definitely come up to me and be like, yo, I think your girl's ready to go. because she don't have a poker face. And I can appreciate that. But we do got to work on it because if I'm trying to make a business transaction or we trying to bust a move here, you make that face, now it's like, oh, they ain't feeling me. This girl ain't feeling me, so I guess that's over with.
She gotta go from here.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm just authentic. And so I'm not about to fake nothing with you. And a lot of times I peep a lot of stuff and I'm always on guard, especially when it comes to Sharif. And so I'm always scoping out the area.
Right.
And, watching out for different things. But it's definitely something I'm committed to working on because I'm not messing up no money for neither one of us. However, I gotta be on guard, and it be stuff going on.
Right.
And I need to make sure I see it.
Man.
Which is, and it comes in different things because there's times that she might be in her nice bag and I'm just off the. But I think if someone were to ask me who I am and who she is, I would say, you know how they say, look how she got close. See how she pulled up?
Yeah.
See how she pulled up?
She pulled up like she was looking like, yo, who that out there?
You know they say the woman lion is the hunter. I really believe that.
Oh, the lioness? Yeah, of course.
Because I know for a fact that she would be ready to take somebody's head off before I would. But if we came together and it was hunting, it's a bad day for you. It's a bad day. But
I made that clear though. I think I gave you a heads up. I think I told you like, look, be serious. This is getting serious. We both, because a lot of people, when Sharif and I were like really heavy talking, nobody knew. We had a long period of time where nobody knew anything except for my close friends. And so that was really by design because I feel like you need to have a period of time that's insulated from the world. And so when we started really posting pictures and people started knowing about us, we had already been, rocking with each other for a minute.
Trust me, I felt like I was the last to know.
But it was because we were trying to make sure that this was really what it was.
Right.
And I remember telling Sharif, like, look, I know you might have whatever you might have, just like I might have had whatever I had. But I need to, like, now that we're at this point, I want to make sure that you understand that I'm not playing with anybody. And so do whatever you got to, but I'm not. Kalana is not playing with anybody from this point on. And so I don't think that that's disrespectful. I think that that's real.
Facts.
I'm not playing with anybody. And so if we get past today and it's an issue, I'm handling it different. I'm not your friend. That's not how it's going down. And
right.
So I don't play about you. And I need everybody that you know, and everybody, let them know that she's probably not the one that you want to play with. They might can play with you, but you can't play with me like that. I don't think it's funny. I don't take it as a joke. So I feel like we had that conversation.
Yeah, we
did. And you had similar conversations with me about people.
We did have conversations. But what I had to learn to understand is that there's a different type of protection. Now I'm cautious I'm protecting her before we even get to that. Because I'm like, yo, I know how it is when I walk into certain arenas, the kind of love I get. And now I ain't seen people in a minute, and now I got to, like, Heisman Trophy, damn it.
Yeah, but yeah and no. I'm not going, it's not on no type of time like that, babe, where I'm not expecting people to show you love.
Right.
I think there's a difference between when somebody's showing you love
and someone trying to show you love.
Yeah, and when they trying it. And so I'm not opposed to you. I know who you are and I know how you move and what you do professionally. And so I expect for you to show people love. But don't get disrespectful. Don't get crazy with it. And that's all I'm ever going to say.
Yeah, and I understand that. I respect that.
And you can handle it, or I can handle it.
That's the.
I'm gonna stick. Hold on. I'm gonna stick a pin in that. We gonna save that because I want to wind this down for a second. And as I was talking, I was sitting here and I was typing a question. Actually, I typed several, but I only came with one that I think is very important here. You said something, Kalana, that was so important. And as a man, you know, first I want to thank both of y'all for coming on here, for being like super ultra transparent. You know what I'm saying? Um, I appreciate and I love you guys for that. The second thing is, I want to say to you, Kalana, I understand, and like Sharif knows the level of hurt and pain that I've been through with my divorce and everything. And a part of my healing came, and I told him this, when I called my ex-wife and I thanked her for divorcing me. And I had to admit that, yo, there were some things that just wasn't right about Vince. And so when I got to that place and I realized, like, yo, all right, God, you done cut off a lot of access to me. I ain't about to fight you no more because you undefeated. You feel what I'm saying? You undefeated. So anybody who I chose to want to go out with didn't work. I got you over here for a reason. Desert place, sir. Get there. I need you in the desert for a while, sir. You feel what I'm saying? And so when I got there, and I'm still there now, but I'm still there with better understanding on why I'm there. And so I want to talk to you guys real quick about, what does friendship look like to you? And this is what one of the questions that you, as one of the statements you had said about friendship. What did friendship look like to you after? And I'm asking Kalana this. What did friendship look like to you after you realized that, yo, I need to deal, I've dealt with me, I've gotten over a lot of things, I'm still dealing with some things. You dig what I mean? I understand, God, that you will take thorns out my side, but you may not take the one or two thorns out my side. That's going to keep me humble enough to keep coming to you.
Yeah.
What did friendship look like to you, and how important was it to you to get to where you and Sharif at right now?
Man, friendship was really important. I mean, I have a lot of friends. One of my closest friends, we actually used to stay in the same apartment complex, and she was probably one of the few people that knew, like, really the ins and outs of Sharif and I from the beginning. And she saw the highs and the lows that I went through emotionally in trying to understand, like, is this a real thing? Are we gonna, am I really going to, like, get serious with Sharif? And that friendship is so necessary because they have to, I mean, anybody that's a friend and has access to you has access to your ear. And so they can plant a seed. And so you want to make sure that you have the right people that are in your ear and that are close to you and that you understand their place. There's some friends that I can't go to and talk to about Sharif just because of the healing process that they might still be in, or because of their tainted perspective. And then there's other friends that I can go to from a spiritual perspective, or, you know, whatever the case may be. But I think friendship is key because that person has the ability to plant a seed. And so if I was around the wrong people and I was listening to, you know, anything, they could have said anything. They could be like, are you sure you want to be in a long distance relationship? Or, you know, I thought you said you wasn't going to be with this, or I thought you said you wasn't going to do that. They could start planting those negative seeds, and it could impact or influence or even taint my perspective of what I was building with Sharif. And so I feel like you have to make sure you choose and allow the right people around you, and not forsake or, like, discard the season, because some friends are just for a season, and I can honor the season that you were a part of my life. But I feel like sometimes, just as much as we don't allow the right friends in, we try to keep friends whose season is up in our life. And so you might have been with me through my college season, and now you're no longer with me. And because I'm holding on to you, I'm also holding on to a college perspective. And so we have to, I think the most important thing that I had to do was make sure that even after I would get advice, or even if I talked to my friends about Sharif, that I always then went back and prayed and took whatever I got from my friends or however I was feeling to God. And I did that. And no lie, because this was a night when I was really ready to be done with Sharif. And he knows. I prayed and I said, God, I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for this man to be in my life. I didn't ask for him. I didn't ask for none of this. I had talked to my friends and they were like, well, girl, if you ready to be done with him, be done. Like, I was ready to be done. And I prayed and I was just like, God, I don't want to go through this. Because at the time, Sharif was like, we were very much acting like we were in a relationship, but he wasn't ready to be in a relationship. And he kept, like, anytime that I would pour my heart out to him, he kept saying it. Like, and so it was like, I would pour my heart out. It felt like I would pour my heart out, and then he would just remind me, but I'm not ready to be in a relationship. And I know he has his own perspective. He's going to share that. I respect the fact. I know he definitely told me how wonderful of a woman I was, how much he, how high he esteemed me. But at the end of the day, his mouth was still saying, I'm not ready to be in a relationship after I poured my heart out to him. And that hurt. And so I was going to God like, look, I didn't ask for you to bring nobody in my life. I don't know why you did this, but if I'm not playing no games with nobody, and I Vince, the next day, I lied to you not. This man called me, and he must have known. He must have been sick. He was probably sick of me, because he called and he was like, and I'm gonna tell you something. I love you. It was like the first time he said I love you. He was like, I love you. And then he was like, yeah, I'm about to F your mind all up. Like, he just went off and told me all of this thing. Because I was really feeling like, why I keep pouring my heart out to this man? And I'm telling you, not long after I prayed about it, he really, like, told me he loved me and all this stuff. And I was just sitting there like,
looking at the phone like
okay. Now, he might have a different perspective.
Oh, look. See how she said that?
That's my perspective.
I keep telling people, y'all looking for somebody that do podcasts and want to learn from them? Call her line.
right.
Now, listen. Now, let me give my side of the story.
Hold on. First of all, let me say this. For all of you out there that are listening to this right now, catch the King and I podcast. You dig what I'm saying? You got to catch them. Always got to throw the plug out. You feel what I'm saying? Catch the King and I podcast. You can follow your guy Sharif. You can follow Kalana. Tell them what your handle is on there.
It's just my name at Kalana Mall. So y'all can definitely follow Pretty Cool Entertainment, because that's our page together where we post all our pictures and do a lot of different funny videos and stuff like that.
That's what's up. Because I got people on Facebook right now that can hear the audio and on YouTube that can hear the audio but can't get the video. But if you go to YouTube, you go to my Facebook page. My YouTube page is Vince Pass 1. Type that in, and you're gonna catch the whole joint. Now we're gonna get to Sharif. Let's hear your side of the story, baby.
Thank you. I thought I would never get to this point.
Oh gosh, you about to act up?
No, I just want. Okay, so first, like my brother Hot Rod hit me to the side. He's like, oh, I guess our friendship is trash because her friends knew. I'm gonna say this. I took a different approach with Kalana because I felt like I already had a perspective about a lot of different things. And I just felt like before I go sharing anything, before I tell anybody anything, let me just work this out. Yes, I did say, you know what? I do like her, but I'm still in a space. From a male's perspective, I just want to share something. If any women are on this, how important this is. Men think about their presentation. For a man like me, I'm thinking about what can I bring to the table. I'm thinking about my credit score. I'm thinking about an established woman who now is presenting herself a certain way. How can I meet that? How can I meet her needs, and how can I be all these different things? So when I said I'm not ready, again, it's not about the fact that I don't want to be in a relationship. But women equate that to, oh, he's not ready, or he just want to be out here playing. That's not what it is. It's the fact that I wanna be ready for the scenario, because then you have women that say, oh, he should have told me that he had this. He should have told me he ain't had no money to take me out. He should have told me he couldn't pick me up. Then I wouldn't waste my time. So which one is it? That's number one. Number two, if I'm telling you, if I'm talking to you, if I'm texting you, letting you know my moves or whatever the case may be, for some men, my movement is showing you where I'm at. Because I'm not one of them dudes that got time to waste and let you be on my line. Because if I told you if I'm serious about my hustle or my grind, why am I wasting my time with you? I could be out here doing a bunch of different things. If I'm telling you that I like you and I'm not ready, it's not because I want to play games with you. It's because I want to build myself up, because I want to make sure when I get with you, I step up to the plate. So I kept Kalana low-key, not in the sense that I didn't want her, because me too. I'm praying about you too, boo. My whole thing is, and a lot of men don't say this, so I didn't tell Vince, I didn't tell Hot Rod, I didn't tell my cousins, my family, I didn't tell my brothers, I didn't tell nobody. I said, let me just rock out. So when we popped out, people like, oh, you ain't even tell me you got a girlfriend. Even women just dropped off and was just got their little attitude, because they're like, oh, he in a
know that.
Hold on. Let me tell you something. When he told me, I was like, well, dang, was I the last to know? That's exactly what I said. I was like, yo, was I the last to know? He was like, nah, OG, it's just that I had to be sure.
Take your time. My thing is, I'm not going to rush anything anymore. I spent majority of my life just rushing to get to something, and then I didn't want it. Rushing to get here, because I think this is the move, and the feeling is just not there. When I didn't rush, this feels like everything I want. I get the truth. She keeps it a buck with me. She may make faces, give me the attitude, show me how the locks get down on the stage. Anything else?
Yeah, but you got dinner tonight, right?
She cooked for me.
Man. Dang.
But that's what I'm saying though. I just want people to understand that they gotta change their mindset and their perspective on it. Don't think because a man ain't telling you exactly what you want to hear, because that's what it was. I just wasn't telling her, oh, I want to be with you right now. It would be wrong for me to have did that for myself, because I was just trying to build. And
right.
She know that, because that's what she really wanted to hear. If I'm telling you I like you, I really love you, I'm working on me, that's not what you want to hear. What you really want to hear is, oh, we together. We in a relationship. We gonna do this. But I was making sure that this is something that not only you want, but something that I want. Something, okay, yeah, I can like you, I love you, so my heart is in it, but I was scared. So, everybody ain't got the real nigga lifestyle when they just jump in full force and be like, you know what, I'm gonna deal with this. And I knew who she was. You know what I'm saying? I've been scoping her out. I know what's up, but women have to figure out what side of the fence do you want to stand on. Do you want him to be honest with you and grow and learn and build and focus? Or do you want him to come to you and say, you know what? At the end of the day, I stepped up to the plate and knew I'm not ready. A lot of women say that. Oh, he wasn't ready for me. Don't waste my time. If you don't want to be in a relationship, leave that woman alone. Now when a man is trying to build, it's an issue. The mindset has to change. And that's the thing. Kalana learned that it was better for us to take our time, because now she appreciated it so much more. But in that moment, it was like, what am I doing? I don't do this for anybody. So now that I'm doing this, you see what I'm saying?
Go ahead. No, you're right. I definitely, because I have been in situations where somebody saying the things that you were saying was really them playing. And so I had to reconcile that within me. I'm not going to put that on you. That was something that I had heard before, and it was like, oh, I'm not ready, I'm not this, but then you with somebody else. And so I that's something that I had heard before, and so I didn't know at first whether it was sincere or if it was another game.
Yeah,
And
no,
so
leave
I
your last in the
appreciate.
past.
Huh?
I said, yeah, no, leave your last in the past.
Facts. You.
Hold on, we're gonna stick a pin in that right there. You think what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yo, check it out. Yo, first of all, I gotta tell y'all, yo, thank y'all for coming on tonight.
Of
But I'm gonna
course.
tell you who I really want to thank. I want to thank Instagram. And let me tell y'all something. This show was supposed to have been cut an hour ago.
Wow.
Because you know Instagram has you on a time limit. But what a lot of people don't know is that they have moderators watching these things, listening for vulgar language, listening for topics that are not basically family friendly, and they put time limits on them. I appreciate the fact that Instagram has allowed us to be on here for an hour and 36 minutes.
That's love.
That is the longest that Instagram has ever allowed me to be on, and I want to say thank you for that.
Wow.
Yeah, I pay attention. I pay attention to that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I want to tell y'all, man, I thank y'all. The King and I podcast, you got to get it that. You did what I'm saying. Drop the pages. You got Kalana Mall. Hold up, man. I gotta go back. Follow your guy Sharif. Follow Pretty Cool ENT. That's their their page that you can follow. Definitely check them out. I want to wrap this up by asking. I'm going to say something last, but I want your perspective and wrap it up for me, Kalana. Give me your thoughts. Give the people your
I
thoughts.
just want to say thank you for even allowing me to be on here. I love and respect who you are to Sharif. There's not a lot of dope men relationships that are displayed, and anytime I'm around Sharif, he's always like, oh, I gotta hit OG back, oh, I gotta hit, like, he's always referencing you, like, oh, I had a conversation with OG about this. And so I just want to honor and give respect to you first and foremost. Thank because you know, men need strong men in their lives to give them guidance and to share their experience. And so that's something that I always want for Sharif. I want him to have men that he can talk to in brotherhood and friendships that are really going to have his back, because I don't understand it all. I'm not a man, and I want him to have a safe space to go to. So I thank you for being his safe space. Babe, I love you.
Love you too.
I appreciate just the fact that we can continue to grow and build together, and I'm really committed to doing anything that I can possibly do to make sure that we grow. So if I had anything to say last, is I would just say keep doing stuff like this, keep creating these type of spaces for this conversation. I literally had a long day, but I'll never pass up an opportunity to get on here and support either one of you, because that's how much I care about y'all. So thank you for the opportunity.
Appreciate that. Sharif, come on, baby. Hit it out the park for me one time.
She done said it all. You know, no, all honesty, OG, I really just came on here earlier when I jumped on just to support you. I feel like one thing I do is I support from the background because I'm always so focused on my projects. But, you know, for me, I made a promise to myself to start supporting more people that I love up front, and to stop sitting back and supporting them in the background. And so I really just was trying to offer you support, and just give my expertise on a few things. But it's never about, you know, me shining on your platform, OG. I really love the ground that you walk on, and you've always been a big brother to me.
Thank you.
Held me down and seen me in a dark place, in a dark moment. And we just got a lot of things to share. So kudos to you, OG, for just what you constantly do. And for the record, so y'all know, OG will tell me that I'm wrong. He will tell me that I'm wrong. It ain't just, you know, coddling little bro, and just, he will tell me, yo, you did that wrong, Sharif. Like he will, and so that's what I need. I'm trying to go forth with things like that. So, like, I mean, and so people know I look up to OG. You know, I look up to him. I've been always doing all these big things. He's always congratulated, always shared me, and always. But it's time for me to step up a little bit more and show love to the people that I love and that are always in my corner, and stop sitting back and just watching and supporting them from the background and giving advice when I need to be more upfront with that. So that's what that really was. Babe, you know how I rock, how I feel about you. I love you daily. And I stopped trying to love you every day and learn to love you every second.
Okay.
That's what's up.
Because that's just, love is continuous. And so when you try to do it day by day, when you realize you could do it hour by hour, minute by minute, second by second, the love gets bigger that way.
Yeah.
So I just feel like, this was a great opportunity. Definitely God sent, because after her having a long day, I didn't think she wanted to see another live. But she definitely did her thing, and I'm always going to big her up, whether she's there or not. I share my baby. But she got something dope going on. Her and her friend Deandra, they talk about covenant relationships. And so they ended today talking about praying about your covenant relationship, your covenant friendship. I'm here to say that I didn't know why OG was in my life when I was in Cincinnati. I really didn't know. All I knew was he was at Ohio Media School. I clicked because we was two guys from New York. We was vibing, and then all of a sudden, he was the missing piece to help me move around Cincinnati, help me to grow, and people found out a lot about what I was doing from him just saying the word. He was the plug like that. And so he's one of the vital relationships that I still have to this day that started 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's dope.
Which I'm grateful for. Y'all check out Kalana. I'm not just saying it because this is my girlfriend, somebody that I want to share life with. I'm saying it because she's dope. I joke around saying the fourth member of the Lives. So I say that she's an honorary member of New House. I always say all these different things, but Shorty's really fire.
Facts.
You really got to check her out. I'm pushing her to get her website up and running. I'm pushing her to do some things. We're going to take Pretty Cool Entertainment to the next level with a website. We're going to take it to YouTube and actually put the podcast audio up soon. So we're just working on some things. We got a lot going on, dealing with a long-distance relationship, plus two people who are media savvy, working good things, and showing love for each other. It's very time-consuming.
Yo.
That. OG, I never have said this out loud in front of people on a platform. I love you. This is a major thing for me to do. Because I don't do this enough, and I just want to practice that. Showing love for people that I love and telling them I love them. This is not me giving you flowers because I owe you a lot, OG. This is not me giving you flowers. In order for me to do that, I have to do so much more. I have to do so much more to give Kalana her flowers. I just try, but I always feel I fall short because of what I feel you two deserve.
I appreciate that, bro.
Thank you guys for even sharing the platform with me. I had a crazy night at work. I just tried to debrief. I listened to her, to her live. I saw you on, and I was just moved. I really think the spirit pushed me to get on live because I was fighting it because I went from my kitchen, and it's only so big in this joint. So I went from the kitchen, and when I got to the middle, it was like, get your phone, put your shirt on, get your phone, go live. And I requested him. I didn't tell him I was requesting him. So this was just dope. And like he said, they let us go this far. So somebody needed to hear this tonight.
Absolutely.
Somebody needed to hear this tonight. This is huge. And I love y'all.
Appreciate it. I love y'all too. I thank y'all for being an example for me of what I want in a relationship.
Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that you guys have decided to live your life in a kingdom living. Elevating yourselves to get to what Pastor Darius Daniels called Kingdom 3 living.
Yeah.
It's not enough words with you two together. It's just not. I can't even find them. I'm trying to, but I can't. Sharif, you already know. O Westbury, it's crazy. 2 different times, 2 different generations, and here we are right now. Soulfully, we already been tied from the place in which which we grew up at. We grew up at O Westbury. You dig what I'm saying? So the soulful tie that we have just being at that unofficial HBCU. That's the official, unofficial. You feel me? So, I just want to tell you thank you for all the love that you've shown me and always have shown me. And I love you too, bro. Alana, thank you. Thank you for being the 2 hands on his back to hold him up.
Absolutely. It's an honor. Oh, don't cry. I done cried a lot.
Because I love that dude. You know what I'm saying? And I'll move heaven and earth for him. So, we covered a lot tonight, everybody. For all y'all that's still on here. There's 2 things that I want to wrap this up with. You could tell an African proverb, it says, you could tell where you at in your present by where you at in your past. When people honor you the way that we honor each other tonight, that just lets you know the type of foundation and struggle that we all chose to go through with together. And I implore all of you out there, I ask a question: what does friendship look like to you? If you have people in your circle, let me rephrase that. If you got, check who's on your boat, because they didn't. When the fishermen went out to sea, they didn't know who was on their boat when Jesus was on it. So when your boat starts getting topsy and turvy and get ready to turn over and flip over, check who's on your boat. That's the first thing. The second thing is that, again, I said it before, if my podcast can help one person or 10,000 people, you know what I'm saying? As long as I help one, I did my assignment.
Yeah.
I don't look at this as being a job. Sharif gets on me about this, a lot, dealing with monetization and stuff like that. Gets on me all the time. But he also know I have a servant's heart. And so for me, that means more to me than dollar signs at the end of the day. But it's not all about money. I'm not saying it's all about money, because it's not. What I'm saying is that this is what I love to do. You're talking to 3 people who are passionate about what we do in media. You're talking to 3 people who are just passionate about life. And you're talking to 3 people who are passionate about God, who we all keep first. And you're talking to 3 people who are servants to people. So when I talk about the spread, we talked about a lot of things. But most importantly, I want y'all to remember, when y'all see the title of this show, it's really about spreading love. We talked about spreading love financially. We talked about spreading love through relationship. We thought about spreading love through people's difference in opinions. You know what I'm saying? And we talked about spreading love just to yourself. As I get ready to sign off, I want to put up the suicide hotline number again. If you feel like you need any counseling, you feel like you're in that dark place, in that dark space, you know what I'm saying, you can't get out of, and you feel like you need somebody to call, the suicide hotline number, 1-800-273-8255. Again, that number is 1-800-273-8255. And I also want to say this, for all of you that's out there that's listening, if your phone ring late night at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and you know that your phone don't never ring that late, I think you might want to pick it up, because you never know who's on the other end of that phone. If you know it's foolishness, then hang it up. But if you know it's someone that never called you that late, then you just never know, man. That might be the difference between life and death. So, you know, I always got to end the podcast with some feeling good music, baby. Yeah. Shout out to my people, Picasso Pinoy, straight out of Brooklyn. You feel me? We got that feel good music. Yo, shout out to Kalana. Shout out to my man Sharif, the King of Our Podcast. Let's go! Woo! We got the feel good music. That vibe that make you want to lose it. Yeah, let's go! To all my peoples all across the globe. I love y'all, man. My house with y'all later. Peace. We are old. Feel good, don't it?
Let's celebrate life. Get your hands high. Hit the damn floor with
Buddy, get right.
Get to know her. Get a number.
Get light.
Get some drinks at the bar. Get nice. Feel good, don't it? You don't have to be a rapper.